Price. I'm the student representative for the Council on Post-Secondary Education. When I was here, I was the Arts and Sciences Council President. I was the President of Order of Omega. I was involved in a few different organizations like IFC. I was a TEAC here. And then just did some different things. I was on Business School Council before I changed majors. When I was here at U of L, I was involved in student government, and there were a lot of issues that affected students statewide that student government just doesn't get to address. And the student representative on the Council of Post-Secondary Education gets to actually address and deal with some of those issues. And so in a lot of ways it's come full circle to the things I did in undergrad. And so that's an exciting opportunity for myself and for the students here at U of L. Well, I have a few different goals that I'd like to see addressed. One of our most well-known things is that we oversee tuition increases, and the truth is we're not just going to stop tuition from increasing, but we can cap it. And I didn't get to affect last year's tuition, but for example, they capped it at 6% for U of L and UK, and then 5% for some of the other universities. U of L and UK get a lot more research funding, so they need more additional funding to keep it going in the larger schools. I'd like to see no more than that tuition increase again, if at all possible. The state's facing a fiscal crisis, but I know students are too. So that's important to me. But there's some other areas I'd really like for us to look into, and that's rewarding students for advanced placement, CLEP, or other dual enrollment classes. That way they can pay less money because it's a lot cheaper to take a $50 test than a $500 class. And then there are some just other various issues around the state that kind of crop up. Right now the council's developing its strategic agenda for 2011-2015, and so I'll be going around the state talking to different groups, the board of student body presidents, some of the diversity groups on campuses, even as diverse populations as some of the incoming juniors and seniors, some homeschool groups and different things, to figure out over the next 5 years how we can really move forward for Kentucky students. Depends on what type of school you're at. They oversee the licensing of Kentucky's independent colleges. So for example, say you're at a Pikeville College, a Berea, or University of the Cumberlands. We don't actually run the schools or anything like that, but we provide them with their licenses so they can operate in the Commonwealth. With regards to the 8 public universities, U of L included, we not only cap tuition, control the tuition raises, we approve new programs. For example, we just approved a Bachelor in Arts at Western in Arts History. So if you get that within the next 2 years, that was because the council approved it last week. Then there's some other tangible things that you wouldn't really see directly from us. We aren't a governing board or a coordinating board, so we can't, for example, mandate that the university do something. President Ramsey has control of his own campus. But we set goals and we provide a lot of data and coordinate different ideas. So if there's a new program that one school has that's really helped out a lot, we go come to the other campuses and kind of show them, say, hey, look, this is out there, this can be helpful. But on top of that, there's just some other things in the way we shape the goals for research funding or things across the state. The one other most tangible thing that would happen behind the scenes is that we as a council serve as the state's higher education budget advocates. When it comes time to create Kentucky's budget, we submit the budget proposal. And so with regards to higher education funding, the money that comes into U of L, we're the ones that fight for that. So you won't actually see the money, but you can see the results of the fight around campus. I need people, just getting into college, especially younger students, to say, what are the problems now? I'm sure they're different than when I faced them back in 2002. And so I need anything anybody wants to put on, they can help. And then the other thing is when the lobbying efforts come, and obviously I'll talk to the board of student body presidents, and we'll know more as those get closer, but it really helps for students to have any kind of presence in Frankfort, and that's 1 day a year. So even if they want to take, half a day off of school or whatever, ride up there. I did it when I was younger, just to show Kentucky legislators that we care. Write them letters, those kinds of things. That way it's not just one voice, but all of Kentucky students.
Well, with higher education being one of the main focuses of this office in student government, we are definitely at a very advantageous position, with Aaron Price being the new Council on Post-Secondary Education member. He has a very strong voice in the council as a student representative. Students' voice in that council is always very strong. So for the students here at U of L, this means they have a very close relationship to this CPE member, and we can communicate with him better than we can with any other member, and better than we would have been able to if this student was from any other university. I've known Aaron Price briefly, but through my interactions with him, I've been very impressed by his articulate nature. He can certainly argue his point, and he has a very polished presentation, and he can definitely do a good job of presenting his point of view. And I also know that he deeply cares about higher education. This is a position that he wanted a while ago, and he is very passionate about higher education, especially in Kentucky. And so I thought he was suited for the position, not just because of his professional attitude and other qualities that he had, but also for the deep concern he has for higher education in Kentucky.